Welcome to the Office Caveman Talks, where we talk about everything primal, from food to fitness and everything in between. So here we go then, you guys. Episode 1 of the Office Caveman Talks. Now, the Office Caveman Talks has been an idea of mine for a little while now, so much so that I've invested in quite a bit of the audio equipment that's needed, but I never really got round to doing it. So I was trying to plan it and work out what I was going to talk about, but you know what? I thought about it and I thought, you know what? Just dive in. So this first episode, there's no real layout to it. I just kind of wanted to explain who I am, why I'm doing this, what the Office Caveman is about, and how it came about as well. So I'm Dean. I am the Office Caveman, and I started the Office Caveman probably about 3 or 4 years ago now. So rewind a few years back to give you a bit of background of how it started. I was pretty unhealthy. It got to a point where I would get to the top of the stairs and I'd be out of breath. That wasn't good. I was drinking, I was smoking, all these classic examples of an unhealthy person. And at the age of sort of 26, 27, I thought, you know what, I've had enough. So this wasn't good for a mid 20-year-old to be feeling, especially as I've got children as well. So I wanted to spend more time with my kids and play and enjoy, and I couldn't do that the way I was feeling. So I took the normal approach that most people do. I went to the gym. Signed up, started getting a little more healthy, focusing on what I was eating. And, I was a very, very skinny guy then. I'm 32 now. And, I was really, really skinny, and I wanted to put on a bit of weight as well. I was always conscious about how I looked. So I did what everyone else, I suppose, would do. And I took to Google. Good old Google is our friend, as we know. And I looked into what I need to bulk up, and a lot of the things that you would find and see would be, you've got to have lots of carbohydrates and protein, and so all these different scenarios of 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight or kilo of body weight or wherever it was then. And then I was looking into supplementation and nutrition and trying to bulk up basically. So I think back then when I was looking at my diet, I was probably consuming maybe 400 or 500 grams of carbs a day. It was crazy, and I was trying to get in at least 250 grams of protein, and it was just nuts. And yeah, okay, I did put on a bit of muscle mass, admittedly. And it did work, and I was seeing a lot of strength gains, and I did feel okay. But what the problems I was finding was I was constantly bloated, and I was always on the toilet, and real nasty stuff. And I felt lethargic all the time, and I was tired, and really struggled with my motivation to actually get into the gym. Apart from seeing physical changes, which was great. And I'd given up drinking, I'd given up smoking, so I certainly felt the health benefits of that, but there was something missing. Something wasn't clicking, it wasn't feeling right. So I did it again. I went back to Google and tried to find some more sources of information, and I'm looking at things like bloatedness when training and nutrition, and then I happened to stumble across a particular guy. Now he's a very well-known guy in the Paleo and primal world. It's Mark Sisson, and I found his blog, Mark's Daily Apple. And from there, I found his book, The Primal Blueprint. So I gave it a go. I gave it a read. I'd already read quite a bit of information by this point, and the penny dropped. I read that book, and it was an absolute eye opener for me. And everything just fell into place. It made so much sense to me. I mean, why wouldn't it? Just eating the way we were designed to eat. Good, nutritious food, staying away from refined sugars, staying away from grains, that have been manufactured in a way or with fruit through agriculture, and just keeping away from processed foods. That just makes sense. So that's what I did. I switched it up. And I think right around about this time, I started blogging about my journey as a way to keep myself motivated. And obviously that started to seep into the blog, this way of eating. And I started feeling really, really good. After about 2 or 3 weeks, I had loads more energy. I felt great, really. I mean, my sleeping pattern improved. I didn't notice any loss in strength, which was really weird. And it like I said, it just clicked. Now, as part of that, with the blog, I had other people asking me questions. What's this primal diet? What? And referring it to as like a caveman diet. Oh, what do? Do you just eat meat? No, it's not Atkins. There's more to it than that. And a lot of people were interested. They wanted to find out. They were skeptical, and that's when I decided, okay, I need to change this. People are wanting this information, and I'm traveling on this journey myself. And what a better way to kind of offer advice to other people through my own experiences. So that's kind of why I designed or created the Office Caveman. And the Office Caveman over the years has built up. And as I've gone through my journey, the Office Caveman has changed as well. And, it's gone from just being about the nutrition and things that I've taken from the primal blueprint, where, playing more and just moving a bit more slowly and changing up how I'm training. And it's benefited me in so many more ways than just the food. So it's the whole living aspect. Since then, in recent times, I've started looking into more yoga and mindfulness, and there's so many different areas of my life that the primal blueprint and this lifestyle has unlocked, and all for the better, I feel. And admittedly, along this journey, there have been times where I've slipped up, lost motivation, at months at a time, where I've gone back to these old eating habits. And do you know what? I'm actually glad I went back to the old eating habits of crappy foods, and the reason being is because it's just reinforced that idea of how bad those foods are and the negative impact they have on my body in terms of bloating and lethargic and just feeling like crap all the time. So that's kind of like why the Office Caveman started and what it's about. Now, the podcast. So the Office Caveman Talks is a couple of reasons. I recently posted on my social media about one of the things that I struggle with is anxiety, and I don't talk about it much. I haven't talked about it really in the past. I've probably suffered with it for a long, long time. So there's a lot of times where I write a post, I go to do something, and I'd stop and delete it and worry and panic a little bit over it. And up until sort of maybe a year ago, I just thought these feelings, or the way I was feeling, was just part of everyday life. I would never associate it to anxiety. There were certain other aspects of how I was feeling that I couldn't really associate it to, but after speaking with doctors and then just really being open with myself about how I feel and what that means for me, has allowed me to kind of come to terms with things and actually not shy away from it. And as a result of that as well, I'm not shying away from other things. So this podcast is kind of like, it's two things for me. One, it's medication for myself. It's self-help for myself. It allows me to challenge myself in a different way. I do all sorts of things in terms of physical. So, running marathons. I'm training to do an ultra marathon. So part of my podcast will be about that. In terms of my nutrition, and I'm looking to do cycle challenges. Hopefully get back into sort of some form of swimming. I mean, that's another topic as well. But this is challenging my personality. This is challenging my mind and allowing me to get out of my comfort zone. So there's a benefit certainly for me, but a benefit for people that are listening will be maybe you're experiencing problems yourself, or you're interested in the primal diet, or you're looking to get into running. Now, by all means, I am absolutely not an expert in these fields. The things that I talk about are discussed based on experience. And for me, I think that's probably one of the best ways for me to learn, is to experience it. I certainly listen to other people that have gone through certain experiences, and I learn from their experiences. But the best way to do things is to do it and to learn that way. So I'm hoping that, you guys can benefit from what I've already learned, get a little bit more of an understanding about what it means to be primal. And there are differences between paleo and primal as well, subtle differences. So, I can go into detail about that. And also to I want to inspire and motivate people the same way that I was inspired and motivated to make changes myself by listening to other people. And ultimately, that's my goal in life, not just from this podcast, but what is my purpose? I mean, I suppose that's one of the things that I've been asking a question to myself quite a bit recently is, what is my purpose? What is my reason for being here and doing the things that I do? And what do I enjoy doing? And it's kind of almost a mixture of everything put together. And that's what I want to give the world. So it's through my love of, fitness and nutrition and feeling happy and being with family and, some of the experiences that I've gone through in life. Like I said, I'm only young, I'm 32, so I am only young, but I have experienced quite a few things already. And what I want to offer the world is an opportunity to motivate and inspire and help people. That's all I want to do. I just want to help people, whether that's get a better understanding or seeing what I do, and if people want to do that. I mean, just recently, a guy that I know had completely changed his whole university course and his career path just based on what we were talking about. So he was looking at design, and that's what he wanted to do. And we sat down literally within 30 minutes of talking to this guy about what I do day to day. As a marketer as well, he changed it, and I was fascinated by that. In no way, shape or form did I say you've got to do a change. You've got to change your course. That's the wrong course. Absolutely not. Just by explaining how enthusiastic I can be about certain areas of my life, it changed his perception. It motivated him to do something. And he has, and he messaged me recently just saying, I've actually got onto this new course now, and I felt great, for him and for me, that motivated me, that boosted me to want to do more. And let's say the Office Caveman podcast has been an idea for a little while now, so I'm hoping that this can continue, however many episodes I look to do. I really don't know whether that's going to be every week, every fortnight. I'm hoping it can be regular, but I need some input from this as well, rather than just me rambling on about who I am, struggles that I've had, and my journeys. And there's got to be a benefit from you. Otherwise, you're not going to continue to listen to it. And I could just talk to a microphone and just listen back to myself if I wanted to ramble all day, because I'm pretty sure no one wants to be listening about that. But best way for you to do it, get hold of me on social media. You can get hold of me on, Facebook, The Office Caveman, on Twitter, I believe it's Office_Caveman, Instagram, again, The Office Caveman. Send me a message. If you want to hear anything around paleo or primal or running, anything along those terms, just let me know, and I can certainly put together something, and hopefully we can get to a point where we're starting to interview people as well, and getting their insight to it. I mean, I'd love to speak to Mark Sisson one day. I think that'd be fantastic. Like I said, the guy who inspired me to start the Office Caveman, a few years back. I mean, that'd be fantastic. Just even thinking about it, that'd be superb. So, yeah, this is going to be quite a short podcast. Like I say, it's just an intro into who I am. But yeah, go and follow me on social media. That'd be great. I'd love to speak to you there as well. An opportunity to engage with people. I love to talk to people and engage, and see what people want. I like that. As I've mentioned just then, is I want to help people. I want to motivate people, and to do that, I need an understanding of kind of what you want. So yeah, talk to me there as well. But next episode, we'll look at it's probably that difference of paleo and primal, and as we go along this podcast journey as well together, we'll probably go through the simple stuff, and as we progress, we start going into the more advanced stuff of it, and kind of look into primal lifestyle in a bit more detail, and how you can manage your primal lifestyle. I mean, certain things like, for example, myself and my wife and children, I'm the only one that lives and eats this way. Everyone else just kind of sticks to their normal diets. So, how do you do that? How do you live a primal lifestyle in a family that don't follow that, and the challenges that can face as well. So there's certainly a lot of topics that we can talk about. But if there's anything in particular, yeah, hit me up, and that'd be great. Okay then, guys. But yeah, until next time, speak soon.